So I'm just going to do this video one take. I mean, I already tried to do it in one take, but just started rambling and totally lost track of what I actually wanted to talk about. So I'll try again now. And I keep it a bit simplistic this time and not go too deep into each thing that I want to talk about. So right now, I'm living in Lombok, Indonesia. I'm making between 10 to 15, even sometimes 20K USD per month in profits. I'm surfing, 4 to 5 times every week. I have a lot of time to really focus on what I love while running my business from here. And this used to always be my dream. My passion since I was 15, 16 was to one day live a life where I can do what I really want to, which is surfing. Now, I'm not a good surfer by any means, but for whatever reason, it is something that I'm super passionate about. And it's always been a big dream of mine to be able to live this lifestyle, be in the places in the world where you have the best waves, and make money while surfing as much as I possibly can. But the reason why I want to make this video is because it was definitely not always like this, and it's fairly recent that I was able to attain this lifestyle. And I remember when I worked my 9 to 5 back home in Norway, and I don't want to say depressed, but definitely not super passionate about life. I used to really just thrive of videos like this where people were talking about how they were able to attain this lifestyle and build a business that can fuel their passion. So now, since I've been able to do the same, I want to do the same and hopefully inspire and motivate someone else and provide just free value to hopefully long-term build a community of like-minded entrepreneurs and digital nomads that want to live life like this as well. So I'm 25 years old from Norway, but now living between Indonesia. So first half of the year I stay down in Indonesia, and then I go back home to Norway for the summer because we just bought a sailboat with the family. So in the summer I enjoy to sail. That's also another passion of mine, which I'm currently learning. Last summer was actually the first time I got back into sailing. Used to do it as a kid a little bit, but yeah, now getting back into it, and I also enjoy spending time with my family. So that's why I spend those 2 months back home in Norway. And then when it starts to get cold back home, that's when I'm escaping and I go to Portugal. So last year, that's what I did. I had my first trip to Portugal to run my business from there. Stayed in a co-living, co-working house with a lot of other entrepreneurs and digital nomads. And yeah, just surfed and had a really great time, really fell in love with the place. I stayed in a town called Ericeira, which is about 50 minutes from Lisbon. So not too far from the capital, and it's just an amazing place, just absolutely perfect for obviously surfing, but also running my business. Was living in a house with a lot of other people that was also running their businesses and working remote jobs. So waking up in the morning, just seeing everybody in the living room working and doing something on their projects, was really like accountability and also some motivation to work on my own business while I was there. So yeah, that's pretty much my schedule moving forward. I think I'm just going to continue to do this. So Lombok or Indonesia at least, and then back Norway, and then Portugal, and then do the whole thing again the next year. Now, in this video, I also want to touch on some things that I actually wrote about in my first newsletter. So moving forward, every Sunday I'm posting a newsletter. It's called the Lifestyle Designers Sunday, where I just talk through the lessons that I learned while I'm building this lifestyle and maintaining it, building my business, and just lessons and practical tips and mindset stuff, philosophy around lifestyle design, and books that I'm reading and inspiration that I'm getting, and just sharing that along the way. So if you want to subscribe to that, the link is in the description of this video. But yeah, I'm going to just cover what I already wrote about last week. So the first thing that I wrote about is a bit about my current lifestyle and how I got here. So as I said, a few years ago I was working my 9 to 5 back in Norway, I was not very happy with it. I spent a lot of time just when I was not working watching YouTube videos about business, and I specifically remember watching a lot of Gary Vee content. So if you don't know who Gary Vee is, he is also running a huge agency, and his whole thing is like content, which is great and all, and he wants to earn a lot of money so he can buy a football team, right? And that takes a lot of money, a lot more than what personally I'm motivated to ever really strive for. It's not really my end goal, but to him, that's kind of what he's preaching about, and he's always about hustle, grinding, spending a bunch of hours working, and that is, to a certain degree, it's amazing, and I got really motivated by that type of content when I was not running my business. But every time after I watched the video, I usually, like, the motivation that I got from it kind of started to wear off. And at the moment, I never knew why. I wasn't really aware about what the issue even was. But now looking back, it's very obvious to me. And the whole problem was that I obviously didn't want to become a multimillionaire and buy a football team like he did. So his mindset and his perspective on things wouldn't really be relevant for me. And it wasn't until I found an author or a business guy named Tim Ferriss, who wrote the 4-Hour Work Week. You probably heard about the book. If you have not heard about the book and you're interested in lifestyle design and online business, as well as traveling and living life to the fullest, I highly recommend reading the book. It's definitely one of the most influential books on my life. And when I found that, I think I was 19 or 20 when I read it the first time, it really changed my perspective on everything. And at that moment, I realized that is what I wanted. That's what I truly wanted. A business that, it's making quite enough money to me to live comfortably and also invest in my future. But most importantly, it's a business that gives me time freedom. Not just financial freedom, but time freedom and location freedom to do what I want, where I want, and when I want to do it. And yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of wants there that to a lot of people seems unattainable. Like, you think you have to sacrifice time to get money, or you have to sacrifice your location to have time or to have money. But reading about Tim's perspective on these things, and the fact that he was able to attain it, and he also had people or case studies in the book of other people that have also been able to attain that lifestyle, that was something truly inspiring to me. And one of the things that stuck with me since reading our book was the term lifestyle design. I'll quickly read the definition that Tim has of lifestyle design. I also put it in my newsletter, so let me just pull that up. So Tim's definition is: lifestyle design is thus not about creating a life devoid of real-world challenges or retreating to a paradise island. It's about reshaping the world around you so that it aligns with your goals, minimizing the work you dislike or eliminating it altogether, and maximizing the amount of time and freedom you have to pursue passions and activities that you love. And this definition right here is just like, I love reading it. I just goosebumps just reading it, because I remember reading this in the book and just having this vision for myself. And now I'm literally sitting here with like this lush background and, in 30 degrees Celsius, about doing my work and then surfing later. So it's just amazing. So that is what fueled me, and I think for a lot of people, really pushing towards becoming a multimillionaire is not really what everybody wants, and I don't think everybody, maybe you want it, but you don't actually, deep down, that's not actually what you really want. So when I realized that, I started consuming different type of content, and Tim Ferriss was one of them, but there's also a bunch of other people that were all already, pushing towards building businesses like that. One example is Iman Godi. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff about him and values that he has that I have no interest in. The kind of millionaire lifestyle, show off, status, money, attention is not something that I relate to at all. But he still built an agency from ground up, a cash flow business that allowed him to do what he wanted, and then also allowed him to work on other passion projects. So I was watching him since way before he was ever known. He's just blown up recently. So him and also a lot of other guys. I'm not going to touch on all of them, but a lot of people like that, podcasts and stuff like that, YouTube videos and books I was reading at the time that reshaped my perspective on everything. And that is also something that I touched on in my newsletter, which is that when you're starting out or you realize that this is something that you want, what happened for me, and I think also happens for a lot of people, is just your perspective on life and your beliefs are really influenced by the surroundings, so the people around you and the environment you live in. But when I started to listen to all these people that truly, there was no question about if this is possible. They didn't even question it, right? But back home, like even my family and people I was surrounded by, they wouldn't think that this is attainable. They don't even really think about a lifestyle like this. They think about getting a good education to get a good job and stay in one place their whole life, or maybe get a remote job and travel a little bit, or just get one job and then do vacations to do their passions. But for me, I wanted way more. I wanted to surf all the time. I wanted to travel all the time. Like that was what I was thinking. So that's why it was so important for me to literally brainwash myself that it was possible just by listening to a lot of people that truly believed it was. So another quote that I really love, and also if you're into business, you probably already heard Alex Hormozi, this business influencer, talk about this quote. But this is absolutely one of my favorite quotes, and it goes like this. So we question all of our beliefs except for the ones we really believe in, and those we never think to question. So this is a quote from Orson Scott. I have really no idea who he is. I think he's an author. But the quote is still amazing, right? So we do question our beliefs. You question what you believe, but the ones that you really believe in, they're just part of your programming. Those you never even think about. And if you really want to change those, you need to surround yourself with people that have different, that operate on a different level, that think about things in a different way, through a different lens, and have a different perspective on things. So that is something to be really mindful of, because it can be very discouraging when you're starting out if people around you just don't believe in you, don't believe in the vision you have, and slowly but surely kill your passion and your dreams, because that's usually what happens. So next, what I want to cover is a bit about my plan for this channel and the plan moving forward. So on this channel, I'll continue to post a lot more frequently. So I'm going to try to post at least once per week. And it's going to be around, specific lessons or learnings that I have from before, and also the things that I learned along the way, growing my business. And I also plan to document a bit more about my passion for surfing and the journey there. I'm by no means a good surfer. I would say I'm intermediate, maybe slightly above intermediate. And not too long ago, I would say I was even, just intermediate, lower end intermediate. But my long-term goal for surfing is to get a proper barrel within 5 years, so before 2030. Now, if you don't know what a barrel is, I'll show you a quick video. It's simply when you get a wave that's big enough and hollow enough that you can actually fit inside it, and you can be fully covered by the water of the wave. Now, for surfers, this is like the holy grail, and if you ask any surfer who's passionate about it, they will probably say that they wish to have that one day. But I think it takes a lot of commitment if you really want to get a proper barrel. So my definition of it is that you're fully covered, you can't be seen from straight ahead in front of the wave, and that lasts for about 2.5 to 3 seconds before you come back out. So for me, I'm a pretty tall guy, I'm 6'5". So for me to actually even fit in a wave for that long, it needs to be a pretty big wave. So I need to definitely increase my level, my fitness, and be able to surf a lot bigger waves than what I'm currently am. So that's why I give myself 5 years. Initially, I started off thinking I would need 10 years, but I think I can half that. I actually posted as a side note, I did post a little question in the surfing community on Reddit, just asking people's opinion if it was possible for someone intermediate and my height to get barreled within 10 years, and everybody was like, of course you can. So I guess was a bit insecure and unsure about how long it would take, but I think 5 years is a good run rate, and it also forces me to push really hard to get better. And the other goal that I have is to grow my business to 1 million USD in annual profit. And also one important thing to note there, I'm talking about profit. And that's because profit to me is what matters. I know for a lot of people that are into business, they really care about revenue and how much revenue they're making. But to me that doesn't matter, because I'm optimizing my business to fuel a lifestyle and fuel my own financial freedom. And that is only profit that's going to do that. It doesn't matter if I have a bunch of revenue. Like, maybe it matters for status, but I don't really care about that. What I want is profit goes into my pocket that I can put into investments that I want to put them into, and also that I can use to fuel my passion and lifestyle. So that is my other goal, and that I think is probably even a harder goal than the surfing one, but definitely doable. So I have no idea how long that's going to take, but the thing with business, that's something I can continue to do forever. Surfing, when I'm 60, I don't think, if I'm not barreled by 60, I don't think it's much hope, to be honest. But business I can continue to do for hopefully as long as I'm alive. So that is the plan for this channel. I'm going to talk about fitness, biohacking as well, continue to talk about solopreneurship, and maybe show some day in the life kind of things and how I'm running my business from abroad, and maybe even get a bit into the nitty-gritty things around the business, sales, how I'm getting clients, and how I run my business. So the last thing I'm going to be talking about actually is just talking about the progress of metrics, such as how I'm growing this channel, my other channel where I get my lead flow for my business, and also Instagram growth, LinkedIn growth, and Twitter growth. So this is just for accountability, and also hopefully to inspire some people. If you see things starting to pick up on my social channels, then that could be inspiring. So first thing, YouTube. So let me just pull up how many subscribers I currently have. So at the moment on this channel that you're watching right now, I have 37 subscribers and total 40 videos. A lot of the videos were from last year when I did the monk mode, which I'm going to talk more about in another channel, because that did end up failing. I tried to do a 60-day monk mode, but I think I stopped around 35, 36 days or so. So I'm going to get into that as well, why that failed so miserably, and why I actually now think I wasted a lot of time doing it. But yeah, anyways, that's a side note there. So for the other channel, where I post about Facebook ads and stuff, and that's where I get most of my clients for my business from. So there I now have 1,500 subscribers, 80 videos. So that one is growing pretty consistently, but I definitely want to scale that up and get more videos out to increase that even further. My goal this year is to get to 10K subscribers on that one, which is going to be fairly difficult. And the last thing I'm going to look at is my Instagram accounts, which I do have on my phone, which is the thing recording me right now. So I'm just going to check how many followers I have on those and document that, and then over time you'll see the growth. So I just checked, and so far I have 323 followers on my Instagram, 489 accounts reached in the last 30 days. So yeah, that's what I have there. And then let me check the LinkedIn page. So on LinkedIn, for the last 7 days, it looks like I have 844 post impressions, 266 followers. And last 90 days, I have 138 profile viewers. And yeah, that's pretty much the stats there. So not a whole bunch of the stuff going on there, but I'm going to be posting a lot regularly moving forward, so hopefully there will be some growth in not too long. And then let's look at Twitter. So for Twitter, it looks like I can only see the followers I have there, so 43 followers so far. So another thing I also want to just touch on is the amount of calls I have booked this week. So so far I've had 2 discovery calls this week, and I have 2 more. Yes, 2 more. So I'll have 4 discovery calls this week. It's a pretty decent lead flow. No new clients this week, but I'll definitely track that as well. Even though the amount of clients aren't really necessarily something I'm optimizing for, it's more the total value and the net profit that my business is making. But yeah, at the moment, that's the stats. I'll continue to track them, maybe track some more moving forward. But yeah, so hopefully you like this video. Follow along if you want to, subscribe, and yeah, more to come.